It's a relentless hum in your brain, isn't it? That constant replay of conversations, the endless dissection of decisions, the suffocating what-ifs that steal your sleep and paralyze your potential. You're trapped in a mental cage, a prisoner of your own thoughts, desperate for a moment of quiet. This isn't just thinking things through. This is overthinking, a self-inflicted torment that robs you of your present, distorts your past, and paralyzes your future. It's the silent killer of joy, spontaneity, and genuine connection. It's the insidious voice that tells you every choice is a potential disaster, every word you say will be scrutinized, and every silence is a judgment. I remember a time when this was my entire reality. I'd spend hours replaying awkward social interactions, dissecting every facial expression, every subtle shift in tone, convinced I'd said or done something fundamentally wrong. A simple text message could trigger an hour-long internal debate about its true meaning. Decisions, big or small, became monumental battles. Should I take that job? Should I send that email? My mind would cycle through every possible negative outcome, every potential misstep, until the opportunity itself would simply pass me by. It was exhausting, debilitating, and left me feeling utterly isolated, even when surrounded by people. My life became a series of missed connections and stagnant opportunities, all because I was too busy living inside my head. We tell ourselves it's about being careful, being prepared. But deep down, it's a desperate attempt to control an uncontrollable world, to predict an unpredictable future. It's a defense mechanism that, ironically, makes us more vulnerable, more anxious, and less capable of truly living. Let's unpack the insidious ways overthinking manifests, the hidden costs it extracts, and ultimately how you can begin to dismantle this mental prison and reclaim your life. The first and perhaps most common manifestation of overthinking is analysis paralysis. You gather endless information, weigh every pro and con, seek countless opinions, but never actually act. The decision itself becomes less important than the process of agonizing over it. This isn't thoroughness, it's a fear of making the wrong choice, a fear so profound it renders you incapable of making any choice. You stand at the crossroads, forever debating which path to take, while life rushes past you on both sides. Second, overthinking fuels a relentless cycle of rumination. You replay past events, conversations, or perceived failures over and over in your mind, like a broken record. You dissect every word, every gesture, searching for flaws, convinced you should have acted differently. This isn't healthy reflection or learning from mistakes. It's a form of self-flagellation, where you constantly punish yourself for what you could have done, rather than accepting what was and moving forward. It steals your peace and traps you in a loop of regret. The third sign is an overwhelming and constant need for certainty. You demand guarantees, proof, and absolute clarity before you can move forward. You obsessively research, seek reassurance, and mentally rehearse scenarios, all in a futile attempt to eliminate any potential risk or ambiguity. But life is inherently uncertain. This craving for certainty isn't just unrealistic, it makes you brittle. It means you can't tolerate the natural ebb and flow of life, the unknowns, the gray areas. And because you can't control everything, you end up controlling nothing, least of all your own peace of mind. Fourth, overthinking often manifests as catastrophizing. Your mind leaps to the worst-case scenario for every situation, no matter how minor. A late reply to a text means they hate you. A minor error at work means you'll be fired. A sniffle means a serious illness. This isn't prudent planning, it's a toxic imagination running wild, manufacturing disasters that rarely, if ever, materialize. You're living in a constant state of perceived threat, and your nervous system is perpetually on high alert. And finally, overthinking creates a profound disconnect from your intuition. You are so lost in the labyrinth of logic and analysis that you can no longer hear your inner voice, that gut feeling, that quiet knowing that often guides us more truly than endless calculations. Your rational mind, in its quest for control, silences the wisdom of your body and your subconscious. You become a head divorced from its heart, perpetually questioning your own instincts, leading to an even deeper sense of self-doubt. The profound realization hit me not in a moment of triumph, but in a moment of utter exhaustion. I was staring at a blank document, paralyzed by the fear of writing the wrong first sentence. Hours had passed, the sun had set, and I still hadn't written a single word. It wasn't just the work that was suffering. My entire life was passing me by. I saw how this internal struggle was creating real, tangible barriers in my external world. The constant mental noise wasn't protecting me, it was suffocating me. It was keeping me small, stuck, and perpetually dissatisfied. I finally understood that overthinking isn't a sign of intelligence or conscientiousness. It's often a symptom of anxiety, a desperate grasp for control where none exists. It's a habit, a deeply ingrained pattern, and like any habit, it can be broken. The shift began when I stopped fighting the thoughts and started observing them. I realized the thoughts themselves weren't the problem. It was my attachment to them, my belief that every thought needed to be solved, debated, or acted upon. This understanding was liberating. It wasn't about silencing my mind completely, which felt impossible. It was about changing my relationship with my thoughts. I started small. When a thought loop began, I'd consciously label it. Ah, there's the what if thought again. Or that's the replaying the past thought. This simple act of labeling created a tiny space between me and the thought, a crucial separation. Then I deliberately choose to re-engage with the present moment, whether it was feeling my feet on the floor, listening to the sounds around me, or focusing on the task at hand, even if just for a few seconds. Breaking the habit of overthinking isn't about becoming thoughtless. It's about developing mental agility. It's about learning to distinguish between productive thinking and destructive rumination. It's about cultivating self-trust, recognizing that you are capable of navigating uncertainty, and that not every loose end needs to be tied. Not every potential disaster needs to be preempted. It's about giving yourself permission to simply be, to act without perfect foresight, and to forgive yourself for not being omniscient. So, are you truly thinking, or are you just spinning your wheels in a mental ditch? Is your mind your most powerful ally, or your most relentless tormentor? The peace you crave isn't found in answers to every what if, but in the courage to let go of the need for them.